Hello everybody in front of the screens and a very warm welcome to the third digital LEMKEN event. My name is Helena Felixberger. I'm looking forward to guiding you through this event, and right by my side is Nicola LEMKEN. She manages this enterprise in the 7th generation and, by the way, is the first woman on the board of management. And right next to her is Professor Dr. Ulrich Groß from the University of Applied Sciences of Weihenstephan-Triesdorf, and he teaches and does research in the Faculty for Agriculture and is our consultant here. So we all three are looking forward to having a closer look at the Koralin 9, and we are looking forward to your questions. So if you're watching this live, leave the full view, because then you will spot the box for the questions, and feel free to ask anything you want to know about the Koralin. Our experts will answer them in parallel to this event. So get in contact. We're looking forward to that, because contact in times like these is more important than ever. I'm sure Ms. LEMKEN will agree, and already with digital events like these, you show that you are open for innovation, but at the same time, tradition remains important to you, right?
Yes, of course. We have one feet on the floor for the history, yes, that's our base, and 1 feet for the innovation. I can explain that my great-grandfather founded this nice company already 240 years ago, so that's a benchmark. And for me, that means honor and responsibility at the same time, I would say it like this. And more than 1,600 employees work for LEMKEN, and they are all fully engaged and very dedicated to the company. And that is a family business, and that's a very nice working together and teamwork in every way. And to say to the customers, we are a specialist on our field. We have a very tailor-made program for every need, I would say. And we have a lot of very satisfied customers who love to work with LEMKEN.
So 1 foot is on the ground for tradition. The other foot is on the ground for innovation, and right at the center is the client. That sounds like a very solid foundation, as solid as the foundation we are standing on, yes. Which is also crucial in your enterprise, because we are talking about soil. And soil has a very big importance to you, right?
Yes, as you say, as a soil specialist, we say it's magic how we work in the soil, and it's a starting point for us for everything. And this year we decided to put it even more in the center of our communication, because it's essence, and it's a lot to talk about for us and for the farmers as well. They have to face a lot of challenges and a lot of big issues to solve, and therefore we make it a big theme and try to look at it from very different views. Yes.
You even put it as a motto: our soil, our future, and you have your whole portfolio that is created in a way to protect soil, right? Maybe you can give us a few examples.
Yes, so it's not only the Koralin which is engaged with all these issues. That means shallow working and dry conditions. We have it also in mind for our other products. As an example, for the seeding machines, we are working on new culture systems to give more pressure, to have more pressure to handle with dry conditions and with minimum tillage, of course. And we have the stickity products new in our portfolio, very nice products. For mechanical weeding, because as we know, chemical crop protection is under pressure, and it's a big thing to handle with, and to try to find new solutions to reduce this impact. And We have the weeding machines with cameras, so we get a new high level of technical solution for the customer. And it's also shallow plowing, and it's everywhere.
So basically your whole portfolio is oriented towards sustainability and towards being feasible also in the future. And you work close with universities, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we have our Professor Gross, who helped us especially with this development, Koralin.
So, Mr. Gross, your focus is agricultural engineering, also tillage, sowing. So which importance from a researcher's point of view does soil have?
Soil is in the focus for me. And let me start with the old saying, agricultural saying, soil is not multipliable. And that means if you look at over the whole world, you see a lot of problems with the soil. One is erosion due to wind and to water. Other is compaction, salinization, and so on. So we lose a lot of soil if you look over the world. And to improve the soil fertility is a main aspect of every farmer, because it's his base for growing. And if he has a good soil, he can produce good products. Yeah.
So, but the farmer can't do it on their own. They have to work together with the manufacturers. How do they do that successfully?
Yeah, the manufacturers have to provide good working tools and show also the farmer how to use them. And the farmer should tell the manufacturers how to improve this technique. So they have to work together very close.
And this time you helped. How did this cooperation come across between you and Lemken?
The Koralin story started at the Agritechnica 2017. We met, my colleagues and me, we went to Lemken on the Agritechnica, and we talked about their portfolio. And we say, oh, very nice products, but you should offer your customers also a working tool for very shallow working depth in order to create a new tool for stubble cultivation. First step is to let the seeds all germinate. So you have to work very shallow and mix the soil. And also it's very important for saving water. Next step is to kill all the plants going up during the first stubble cultivation.
So, Mrs. Lemken, finally, the Koralin 9. What do you think when you look at it?
I'm very proud. I like the blue color, of course, and sometimes it's like a new baby. And it's, for me, has a very nice machine, a good solution for the customer, and I know how the working together was, and we are very proud about this, of course. And in a very short time, a very new product. We developed it with a good team, and I'm looking forward to show it to the customers.
Teamwork at its best. Thank you very much, Ms. Lemken. Vielen Dank, Herr Groß. That was German, by the way. And now we're going to check out the Koralin 9 and talk to our experts. So let's get started and take a much closer look at the Koralin 9. And for this, of course, we need an expert. And we are in luck because there comes one. This is Jens. He is product manager for hybrid cultivators and a lot more, right?
Yeah, for seedbed preparation tools and short disc harrows.
Okay, but now it's about hybrid cultivators because the Koralin 9 is one. And here comes my first question. What does hybrid mean in that context here?
Oh, the idea behind is to make a combination between a vertical and a horizontal cutting tool. So we combine a disc and a tine. And in this combination for ultra shallow stubble cultivation, it's very unique. So the tools are well known in, for example, our Heliodor or short disc harrow and tines on a karat, but this combination is brand new.
Okay, I'm fascinated. Let's talk about the discs first. What do they do?
So the discs have several tasks. The main task from my point is to cut organic material and work in a lot of trash and straw on the surface and reduce the blocking of the tine section behind.
So that's the main thing.
Yeah, this is one main thing. Another main thing is the discs are arranged in a way that one disc cuts a slot in the middle of the tine direction, and the second row, 2 discs cut a slot on each wing. And this reduces wearing of the tines dramatically. And reduces pull requirements or traction requirements from the tractor. So it saves fuel. And yeah, it's a big benefit of this new concept.
So after harvest, the soil is often very hard. So these are tough conditions. How do they cope?
This is a very good question. In hard and dry conditions, our disc prepares a slot as well, so that the tine has it easier to penetrate into the soil in hard and dry conditions. That's right, yeah.
And I see here that actually there's a few crumbs of soil here, so it has been out for a party.
Yeah, that's right. This machine is not brand new, so this is a pre-series machine from the last year. But here in Alpen, we started our spring season last week. And we went out in the fields with this Koralin unit and, do first passes this year and check out all the things. And yeah.
Nice.
So therefore, it's used look.
And I also see that each disc is equipped with its own spring leaf.
Yeah.
What's the advantage of that?
That's right. This is an overload protection, this leaf spring. And every disc or each disc is separately attached to the main frame. So if the disc hits a rock, it's only one disc who has to lift up and not the complete unit. So, yeah.
And what's this? Can't really read it, must say.
Yeah, this is an indicator for the depth setting of the disc unit. And it's this way around because the operator from the cabin take a look at the back and then he can read the figures and numbers in the right way. So you won't need a mirror or stuff like that. So this is only for the operator cutting it this way here in this indicator. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Okay, thank you very much for being my disc jockey for this. We'll see each other in a moment. And now I'm going over to talk about duck feed with Peter. Hello, Peter. You are in charge of agro training at Lemken. That means you are a trainer for salespeople and technicians from the dealer side, right?
Yes, Helena, that's right. I'm in charge of the agro training department, and the agro training department is doing the national and international trainings with the whole service and sales organization. And we are doing also the agricultural trainings. That means what we are doing, why, how we have to take care to our soil, to our crop, to our plants.
So naturally, you are the best man to tell me about the delta cut shares. How do they work?
Yeah, thank you, Helena. The delta cut share is, let me say, an A blade, and the A blade has no down forces. The A blade can cut really shallow. That means we can reach a working depth, what Professor Uli Groß told a few minutes before. We try to get a minimum working depth about 3 centimeters. And that's possible with these shallow standing delta cut shares.
And I see there are like plates on the edge. These are extra, is that extra hard material?
That's a special edition, and that means you can select for a farmer side, you can select 2 different versions. The standard versions are with hardened steel, and this share here is a tungsten steel version. And the tungsten steel is giving you more lifetime and less wearing.
So Jens already told us about the special arrangement of discs and shares. Maybe you could explain it on this share again.
That's right. Jens said it a few minutes before. We have a tined arrangement from that tined to that tined here about 30 centimeters. And that tined arrangement is exactly the same on the discs which are working in front of a delta cut shear. That means one upright standing hollow disc is cutting in front of the delta cut shear, and the next hollow disc is working here on that side of the wing and on the other side of the wing. That means the soil also in hard conditions is pre-cutted by the disc, and then the delta cut shear can cut the whole surface over the whole working width. In that example here, 6.6 meter.
So, okay, if I look across, there is a lot of tools, a lot of shears, a lot of discs. So how's the traction? Doesn't it go to one or the other side? How stable is it?
One topic what we also have to talk about, we have a distance about 30 centimeter, and the delta cut shear is still 38 centimeter wide. That means also in slopey hills, we have an overlapping of the edges of the delta cut shear. That's one topic. The other topic is that every farmer who has driven a compact disc cultivator has in his mind side forces. And that means we have learned that also in our whole product R&D situation, that side forces is not existing here on the Koralin. And the reason is simple and easy, and we have learned that on the Rubin 10, because the Rubin 10 and also the Rubin 12 has a symmetric disc attachment situation. That means we have a center line here in the Koralin cultivator, and that means the first row of discs are moving the soil outside from the center line to the right-hand side and from the center line to the left-hand side. And that means side forces are not existing here on the disc section.
So if you set the working width at, let's say, 660 or 7, you will not need more.
Exactly, and that is also a well-known topic that farmers are driving today with a GPS steering system on the field. And that means if you are putting the settings in the steering system, you can easily put 6.5 meter and you are not wasting working width of the machine.
So your delta cut shears will stay right on track. And if you have shears that stay so right on track, they probably will have been Lemken Blue at some point, right?
We know exactly what the forces in a really overload protection, what is required. We got that experience also from the Karat intensive cultivator. And some of our competitors are trying to make it cheaper because they are only using duck foot in spring-loaded tines. And if you see that in comparison to our machine, we have a real coil spring overload stone-protected version. And with that coil spring overload protected version, we have pressure about 250 kilogram per duck foot. And that means the tine is standing totally rigid, also in hard and dry conditions, and also in loam or clay soil conditions. And that means our tine is always working 3 centimeter deep, and it's not moving upwards and sidewards.
Excellent. So unwaveringly, it will follow the track. So I see all these tools. It's a complex arrangement. That means that I can also imagine that arranging the right working depth for these tools must be complicated, right?
Yeah, Helena, that's, let me say it's a little bit funny and complex and complicated.
Go together.
It is, no, in our situation, it's not going together. It's complex because we have 2 different depth adjustments. But it's not complicated because the farmer and the tractor driver has only to select 2 double-acting spool valves. One double-acting spool valve is responsible for depth adjustment of the duck foot section. And the second spool valve is responsible for the adjustment of the hollow discs. And that means we get 2 different indicators. One indicator is in the main frame, located by side of the axle. It's good visible from the tractor cab. And that indicator is for the working depth of the duck foots, and the second indicator you have seen before.
Exactly. So this has a working width of 6 meters, 60 centimeters. And, well, soil is rarely homogeneous. So what do you do in hilly terrain?
Yeah, that's also fully understandable. Here our beton floor is really level, but on the field we have slopey hills, we have wheel marks, and that means the Koralin is the first cultivator what is not depth guided over the roller. All other machines, what we are offering to the market, a Heliodor, a Rubin, a Power Harrow, all these machines are depth guided by the roller. The Koralin is, let me say, a totally new situation. And that means the Koralin has 7 wheels. And that means the Koralin is a cultivator what is depth guided according to the wheel position. And that means we can adjust independently the working depth.
Excellent. So it adjusts to any situation, and it is really complexity made simple.
What I have to add maybe is the topic that the center frame is depth guided by the 2 wheels of the axle and 1 wheel what is located in the drawbar in the center. These 3 tires are depth guiding the center frame. And both side frames, right-hand side and left-hand side, are guided with these 2 tires, 1 tire behind you and 1 tire in front. That means every side section can follow the field contour 2 degrees, 4 degrees up and 2 degrees down. That means also in slopey hills, we are cutting the whole surface over the whole working width.
So maximum flexibility. Peter, now, what are these tools that are behind the Delta Cut chairs?
Yeah, okay. We talked about the working depth of the Delta Cut chairs, and we talked also about that the Delta Cut chair has no down forces, no down grip. But still, the Delta Cut chair on the wing is moving the soil a little bit outside. That means behind the tine, we have a small roof. And the leveling tines are depth guided by these pins and brackets. And that means the leveling tines are trying to level the field, that we have an even surface before the roller is doing crumbling the field.
Absolutely perfect. So now we'll find out more about the chassis from Jens. Jens, the chassis is located right at the center of the Koralin 9. Why is that?
Oh, that has a lot of advantages. First advantage is, as Peter told, the depth guiding. So the chassis is in line with the outer depth guiding wheels. And this is for the stability of the complete machine during the shallow working path. Mm-hmm. Another advantage is this position allows a very comfortable and secured way for transporting on public roads.
And how's the handling? I mean, I would hate to park in the city center with this machine.
Oh, this could be a little bit tricky, but on arable land we have a lot of space to do the turning on headland, for example. And with this machine and the position of the chassis, like we do here, is you have the ability to turn very narrow on the headland and to work path to path. So it means you can create an angle with your tractor in the front of more than 90 degrees for turning, and this is maximum comfortable for handling on
and what happens with the tracks of the wheels?
Oh, as you can see here, a tine is positioned directly behind the wheel, and this eliminates the tracks from the chassis.
Now, here behind the Delta Cut chairs, we can see a row of tools. What is this?
This is a flat bar roller. Flat bar roller for crumbling the soil on the surface to create a seed bed for a quick germination of volunteer seeds and weeds. There are a lot of different rollers we offer for the Koralin. So this is one of 3. Second one is the flex ring roller, we call it. So these are single rings and they are vibrating on top and crumble the soil. Depends on the soil conditions where you work in. And last but not least, we offer a double roller, a combination of a flat and a tube bar roller. So this is a good compromise if you need a little bit more reconsolidation on top. And yeah, we get a wide range of different tools in the back for the Koralin.
Definitely, and it doesn't end there because we have yet another row of tools. So talk about this one, please.
Yeah, this is, we call it a following harrow. This is one row harrow behind the roller, so you can equip it to the flat bar roller, to the flex ring roller, and as well to the double roller. And the main function is to bring cut plants and weeds back to the surface
so
for
they
drying
dry out.
That's right,
Okay.
for drying out. Yeah.
So they can't actually grow again.
That's
And
exactly
I
the
bet
task. Yeah.
That's not yet the end of it, huh? I bet you've got another trump.
It's not the end of it. So we can offer the Koralin with a 4-row harrow instead of a roller harrow combination. So this is, I guess, this is the perfect tool if you are working in circumstances for mechanical weed control. So this is nearly to comb every plant back to the surface and hit the roots to divide soil and roots and stuff like that. So yeah, it's up to you or up to farmer circumstances which tool you would like to use.
So Lemken definitely offers a lot of options.
Yeah.
So this is with a working width of 660. I will find out if there's something also for the small and medium-sized farms. So Peter, do you also have working widths for medium-sized or smaller farms?
Yeah, Helena, that's also a good question. The Koralin, what is standing here with 6,60 meters, let me say you have to farm at least on a medium-scale farm, yes, of course. And also the 8,40 meters version needs a big-scale farm. Yes, of course, we are thinking also in the direction of bigger tools. But anyway, your question is going in that direction to smaller machines. And that is the reason that the Karat intensive cultivator is standing here. And that means the Karat intensive cultivator is produced thousands of machines, and they are still working on the farm. And Lemken is offering one unique quick fit changing tool. And that means we have here added 2 duckfoot shares. And these duckfoot shares are still available in 2021. And that means an existing Karat cultivator can do also the ultra shallow stubble work with these duckfoot shares.
Okay, and how are the working widths for these?
These Karat range, or that Karat range, is offered from 3 meter, 3.5 meter, 4 meter, 5 meter, 6 meter, and 7 meter. And that means that range fits underneath of the Koralin 9. And it's still payable because you have to pay to buy only such a duckfoot share, one set. And then you can add these duckfoot shares on the quick fit changing tool.
As easy as that. So how does, back to the Koralin 9, how does the Koralin fit into the portfolio of Lemken?
Yeah, that's also a good topic. A lot of farmers are thinking that Lemken is still offering 3 different versions of compact disc cultivators. We are offering the Heliodor 9, we are offering the Rubin 10, we are offering the Rubin 12. That means 3 compact disc cultivators. And if we are going to the tined cultivator range, we are offering the 2-row crystal cultivator, the 3-row Karat 9 cultivator in mounted and semi-mounted, and also the Karat 12 as a 4-row tine cultivator. And that means the question is fully understood. What the hell, in which direction is fitting the Koralin?
So which is it?
But it's like Professor Uli Groß told, ultra shallow stubble work, get high germination rate of weeds and volunteers, and fighting against weeds. That is one of the main topic, and that means the Koralin is added perfectly for the shallow stubble work. And with the compact disc cultivators, we are starting at 7, 8, 9, 10 centimeter, and the Koralin is able to do that also with 3 and 4 centimeter.
So it's actually like a mind shift to also protect our soil,
because
right?
The targets and the challenges have been changing during the last years, and that means we have also to change our way of farming.
One last thing, what are the demands on the tractor?
Yeah, demands on the tractor. We have driven the Koralin mostly between, like Jens told it, 35 to 50 horsepower per meter working with. That means on the 6 meter 60 version, mostly we have driven with 250 horsepower. But if we are going on slopey hills, up and down on the hill, it could be a little bit more. That means 300 horsepower, 330 horsepower, it's also okay.
So probably 1/2 of a horsepower will take us back to Jens. Let's do that. Jens, Peter, thank you so much for sharing your insights and your expertise. We hope you enjoyed it. Gladly keep on asking your questions. Our experts will be here to answer them. And thank you for your interest. Thanks for watching. And we're looking forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.